Welcome everybody to part 4 of my collection rooms tour. This is part 4, so if you haven't watched 1, 2, or 3 yet, check those out. There's a lot of toy lines in those videos that you might want to see. But we're going to focus on one toy line today. It's G.I. Joe. This is the toy line that was dear to me to my childhood. Once I started collecting G.I. Joe, I pretty much didn't collect any other toy lines. So we're going to take a look at everything I have in my collection. I've acquired this over the last 25 years, and I want to also put it in context a little bit. There's a lot of stuff that I did sell that I reacquired after I purchased my house in 2009, and then I either reacquired it or I just never purchased it again because it was too big. And there's a few of those pieces that I wish I still had in my collection, and I may acquire those again, but they're going to be expensive to buy. And there's some stuff that I still have in totes downstairs that needs to be repaired before I put it on display. And there's some things that I took out of the display because they're just too big and I was going to sell them, but I haven't yet. So I'll show you those things probably in another video when we go downstairs in my second room and we see what I have down there, which is mostly modern stuff. Some of the examples of things that I would like to repurchase that I sold is the mobile command center, and I would like to purchase another warthog. I had a really nice warthog that I sold, and I wish I had it. Some things that I sold that I'm not going to acquire again is the General, Avalanche, Hammerhead, mobile battle bunker, the Cobra Terrordrome. I had that one in box, which is amazing. I have a Havoc, the regular green Havoc, but that one needs to be repaired. So eventually I'll put that back in the collection. Some things that I sold that I reacquired was the Vamp 1 and 2. I sold 2 Fangs that were complete with the engine bars, and then I've reacquired that, and then I 3D printed the engine bars because I couldn't find the original ones without spending a fortune. So I've reacquired the Fang and a Tomahawk too. So some things that I have in the collection to be repaired is a Patriot, a Desert Apache, a Ghost Striker, and an Ice Saber, and the robot. What's the robot called? I can't remember now. And some things that I sold recently, the Earthquake and the Brawler, which are kind of like plastic Tonka style vehicles. They're like payloaders and stuff, but of course in the 90s colors, like fluorescent colors. And we have the Battle Axe and the Pile Driver. I sold those, and I'm never going to acquire those again. I don't really care for those uh, vehicles or whatever they are. All right, so let's get started. The last thing we saw in part 3 was my mask collection, which is right here, and we looked at this shelf here, and there's some shelves over there. So we're going to go over here and take a look at the G.I. Joe collection. So no in particular order, we're going to start with this shelf here. In 97, there was a lot of sub teams that were developed, and this is one of those sub teams. This is the Cobra Toxo Lab, and then we've got the Eco Warriors and also the Cobra guys in that kind of sub team. And we also have Mega Warriors here. They had these body armor that you could put on them, and then you could make the armor out of Play-Doh. There's a couple of the more modern O-ring Cobra soldiers with masks on. We've got a Manimal there in card. And then I also have this figure. I didn't even realize I had him. I didn't even know. I was looking for this guy here to try to figure out what his accessories were, and I found out he is a Brazil Eco Warriors figure. So this is a Brazil Eco Warriors figure. He is complete. So that's really cool. So there's my Eco Warrior Mega Marine Manimal style shelf. Let's go down from there. We've got more Cobra sub teams here. We've got the Python Patrol. These are the original Python Patrol figures. And then we've got some Python Patrols from the 2000s. We've got doubles of some of those. I don't know why. Of course, we've got some of these 2010 Army Builder O-ring G.I. Joes. I had bought like 6 or 7 of those whenever I saw them. There's an original Python Patrol O-ring figure there and card. Then we've got some 25th anniversary Python Patrol figures on card. And then the rest of these are Star Brigade. There's a Lobato Max Star Brigade figure. I got this guy just recently, probably in the last year. And some of the vehicles around that era. Some more of those creatures from the Star Brigade. So there's my kind of my Star Brigade slash Python Patrol and everything else shelf. Let's go down to the bottom shelf because we have this shelf here, which is A-Team. But we want to go down to the bottom shelf. If you don't see figures that you think we should have here from the first 3 or 4 years of figures, that's because they are in my first video of the figures that I had as a child in my collection. So those are all in there. So here we've got the Dreadnought figures. Here's a custom one I made. Got Mindbender in there. Just thought I'd throw them in there. We got some more of those O-ring Cobra soldiers from 2010. Got a Zartan there. He's a modern one, but I just think he's really cool. He's got his helmet on display there with the sword. Just some random stuff, but we got some vehicles, figures. This is a convention exclusive figure, Dreadnought. There's a couple Super 7 figures. We've got Zartan here in his punk rock attire. And there is my Dreadnought display. So I like to use cardboard on the bottom of my shelves just to change the color up a little bit. And then so if we go over to here, I've got some kind of, it looks like a placemat or something, but it's made out of paper and it looks like rocks. So I put that in here. We've got a lot of our 97 figures, the rest of our 97 figures that was in the display case behind me. We've got the rest of those in here. We've got a Desert Rat, a signed Desert Rat, which is really cool, Action Force. He should be on the shelf above here, but I don't have room for him up there, so I put him here. Just really like that figure. I have some international stuff, G.I. Joe stuff too, like Fun School and Action Force. We'll look at all that here in a minute. But right now, let's check out this shelf. 97, 98. Got the mail-in exclusive parachute. I've got a couple of these, but also he came with one of these also. I think it was a mail away. He came with one of these, so I put one with him. I've got a couple of these, so got some play sets there. There's a book in the back. I loved these play sets as a kid. Didn't have any of these, but my friend did. He had a lot of those play sets, so I remember playing with them as a kid. I also had his vehicle too. I can't remember what it was called. It was a jet, a silver jet. So I had that. Don't have it anymore. I sold that. Here we're going to go down here to the Destro shelf. These are all the vehicles that were in the Destro sub teams and the figures. We also have lots of different versions of Destro in here. More modern one. And then a lot of these figures are affiliated with Destro. Air Commandos. I do have a lot of Air Commandos in a separate shelf, but I thought he would look good right there on guard. So there is my Destro shelf. So here we have my winter shelf here. Got some couple modern figures there. We've got Super 7 in the back. That's a really cool one. I got one here he's fallen down. But they have him out. So these were in the movies. Game Master drones. Some vehicles. Figures. There's a custom here. Here's an original Snow Serpent, 1984, I think. We've got worms. We've got a bunch of Air Commandos here. We've got a really cool snake here. It's kind of chrome. It's more modern. Some bats. And that is my snow shelf. Now this continues over to this side. This is my snow shelf for the G.I. Joe. We'll take a look at that later, and then I'll show you what it looks like all together. Now down below here, we've got Cobra Viper shelf. These are all Vipers, and also Cobra Soldiers, because I've got them all over the place. These are all O-ring Cobra Soldiers. They came in packs of 8, I think, or 10. So I'll show you what those look like. I still have some packaged. These are all of our Vipers, including the original looking Vipers, but these were reissues later on. But there's tons of different ones in here. Air Commando there in the back. Cobra. A couple of Vipers that are version 1. But there's also version 2 over here. We've got version 1 here. We have a version 2 over here. Bunch of vehicles. I threw in this firing range, Cobra firing range, because I thought it'd be cool there. Night Vipers, Range Vipers. Another Cobra guy in the back, and then we've got some Vipers here. So that is the vehicles that I have on display with my Viper shelf. And then on the bottom shelf is also Cobra here. We have my water scene here. So these would be all vehicles that could go in the water and figures that can swim. We've got Vipers here that are not on the Viper shelf, but I think they belong down here. This is a modern water moccasin with modern figures in it. And I had some extra Vipers that I brought down here and put here on the sleds. We've got the driver of the bug and some more Cobra soldiers there. Over from the Cobra water shelf, we've got this shelf here. Now this vehicle is so large, I pretty much can't fit any other vehicle on it except for a couple of these small ones. So you can see some of these guys here. These figures here are cool. They were early 2000s, I believe. They kind of came in like a green shirt pack, but they're not green shirts. There's a bunch of them in here. That Gung Ho 2 was a vehicle driver in the early 2000s. So another vehicle there, and got a reissue tripwire in the back. He's kind of like a dark grayish color. Above that, we have a couple vehicles and some figures. There's the driver there. Got tons of Big Bens, Scarlet. It's another vehicle driver. It's the vehicle driver of this vehicle. Sci-Fi. Is that Sci-Fi? I think so. We've got a rock and roll in the back. Crazy rock and roll. That's a cool shelf. This vehicle is really fun. It's in 3 pieces. The big gun in the back. This vehicle is really cool too. It has the rockets inside, and it has a little vehicle on the inside. That's all in there. It's just inside the top so it doesn't get dusty. Okay, and then we're going to go up to the G.I. Joe shelf that has my winter scene. Got some Super 7 stuff in the back with Snake Eyes. This is a custom here that I made. This is a 4-pack here, along with him. He's a vehicle driver of a more modern vehicle, even though the vehicle driver for this vehicle, he's right here. Wind chill, I think it is. We have some other winter style vehicles and Cobra soldiers carrying it on from over here into here. And we also have a 2-pack in the back. These are O-rings. It's a really cool 2-pack, sealed. Probably came out around 2004, maybe, something like that. And then up from there, we have this G.I. Joe shelf here. We got Sergeant Savage figures, the taller ones there. They're about 4.5 inches, 5 inches. You can see the difference in height. They must be 4 inches, maybe 4.5. But we got some vehicles here. Sergeant Savage figures, regular figures. These figures are more like in 1989, something like that, 89, 90. Here's some of the same era of vehicles. We've got a Super 7 Snake Eyes in the back, but this is also my Snake Eyes shelf. I pretty much have every O-ring style Snake Eyes. The only one that I don't have is a swivel arm version 1.5 Snake Eyes. I've got 3 of the straight arm. So those are all, I mean, these ones look like the one that came out in 83, but they're just reissues. So we've got all of those guys here. Got a more of a modern one in the back. We've got another one with a Scarlet. That was 20th anniversary Toy Fair exclusive, I think. So it's got a painted Snake Eyes in there, like an O-ring with Scarlet. So that's in the back. We've got Snake Eyes' a Jeep from 2015, something like that. And then we've got the Hummer. And that is my Snake Eyes slash early 90s figures and vehicles. And we're going to go up and we're going to get into some more vehicles, G.I. Joe, but we're also going to get into another sub-team. So we've got a couple figures here. We've got some Air Commandos. I think these, this guy here, or actually this guy here is Air Commandos. I don't know what he is. Can't remember. This is a custom. We're getting more into the earlier vehicles now because we've got our Slaughter's Marauders and the Renegades. There's all three of the Renegades there. And then these are Slaughter's Marauders. These are the original Slaughter's Marauders. All of these. There's Sergeant Slaughter in on the card. It's kind of in bad shape though. But the rest of these Slaughter's Marauders are all customs that I made. And we've got Sergeant Slaughter. I think that's a Brazil Sergeant Slaughter with the pink skin. So it's really pink. It's hard to see in the video here, but if I zoom in, you can see that his skin is pink. A lot pinker than what G.I. Joe USA was like, or G.I. Joe North America. And then we've got one of the Marauders vehicles. And then we get into the top shelf. This is the shelf where this is kind of like, again, the figures are mostly around late 80s, but the vehicles are quite early. My friend had all three of these. There's the remote control with the remote in there. You can see the figures. Now, apparently I do have the figure for this. It's marked off on my list, but I can't find it anywhere, so maybe I didn't really have it. The Slugger. Let's get the light up here. Slugger is complete. And we got some more 1982, 83 vehicles there. That's 84, I believe. Slugger was 84, 85. Yeah. So most of these vehicles were between 86, I think, 87, and 83, 82, 83. Depending on what version you got. Now we're going to go to the top shelf to the right. And this is all my Action Force stuff. Some vehicles, some customs, Super 7. This is a custom O-ring figure here. That's a custom O-ring figure. But the rest of these are original. Got some guys down here that's fallen over. Got a snake there. Z-Force, SAS. Got a Quirrell. Got the tank. Some more SAS. And then this is all of my open, loose, Fun School G.I. Joe figures. And I've got two of these guys here. I use their parachutes for a custom Sky Striker that I made for Zartan. I'll show you those in a minute. There's the Fun School police car. Another Fun School Jeep that's really similar to the Vamp mold. And these figures are pretty cool, but you can tell that they're cheaply made. You can tell the plastic is cheaply made, and the artwork for the cards are really bad. And I'll show you that here in a minute because I've got tons of carded Fun School stuff. So we'll take a look at that. Here is the Skydiver parachute. So if you ever want to do customs and you want to get parachutes and stuff like that, that's the way to do it using Fun School. You can get Fun School pretty inexpensive, but I was getting these pretty much from the States, carded or loose, for like anywhere between $2 and $5. And that was about 20 years ago. So I'm pretty sure it's not like that anymore. Let's go to the top of this shelf. Now that we've seen everything on that shelf, let's go to the top and see what we have here. We have the Night Raven, which is really cool. Got this helicopter. You can see the Fun School stuff in the background. So we'll take a look at that. Just look at the artwork for these Fun School figures. And the coloring on the figures is really different than the actual G.I. Joe version. Got a lot of the vehicle drivers near the vehicles, just so that it's easy to see that I have him. And we've got some more Fun School back there. Got a pod, stiletto, vehicle driver for that. It's cool that the stiletto came with a driver. It's really cool. So here is all of my Cobra Commanders. We even have like a McDonald's one in there somewhere. Did he fall over? There he is back there. Got some more Fun School figures, carded. Those are all my Fun School figures now. And then we have some Street Fighter figures with some of the vehicles. Another pod back there. Second version of the pod, kind of a cool coloring. Reissue of the tricycle there. And a bunch of the figures. We got another one of these stilettos, but it's the G.I. Joe version. But I like it as the Cobra. I think it's cool as a Cobra vehicle, but it clearly says on it on the side, it says Starfighter with the G.I. Joe logo on it. So that's awesome. So let's go up to the top. This is an extra shelf. And I put all these in their cases. Some of these came with a lot of accessories that they couldn't hold anyway. So I thought I would just leave them in these cases. Besides, if you don't know already, I am tearing this room down. That's a reissue, Storm Shadow, by the way. I'm tearing this room down after these videos, and I'm relocating it. So these are all Ninja figures. All of these. And there's like a display here. I do have the modern figures that come with this display, but they're in a different part of my room. And here we have the Street Fighter 2 figures on card. I really like those. Those are on display on the wall. I have them tacked to the wall. And then here's some international figures. I think these are Chinese figures. Apparently, you could still get some of these in the U.S. I can't remember where I got them. I think I got them on eBay, but they're mint on card. So we've got Destro, we've got Tiger Force, Roadblock, and we have. And just underneath that, I love this shelf a lot. We have some Cobra vehicles. These are important Cobra vehicles from 85, 82 to 80, or 83 to 85. We've got some important Cobra vehicles here. We've got the Hisses, a couple different versions of the Hiss. And we've got Hiss 2. I think this is the second version of it. This version is from 2012, something like that, or even later, 2015. And then we have the Cobra Stun with the vehicle driver and one of those Cobra soldiers from early 2000s. And so that is pretty much that whole display that I have. But that's not all. We got stuff on the ceiling here. Got anything that can be on the ceiling as a jet or something flying. I try to find room for that. So here is the Conquest, and the vehicle driver is in this. You can see him in there. We've got the vehicle driver in this vehicle. And we also have a vehicle driver in here. This is the Sky Striker that I told you was a custom that I made for the Dreadnoks. I made custom stickers for the wings and stuff. I don't know if you can see that, but that is the vehicles on the ceiling. Now, beside this shelf, we have some more carded figures. We've got these Street Fighter figures with Jean-Claude Van Damme on them. I don't know why they made so many of them. They're just the exact same figure, but recolored. So there's 3 of them. And then these 6-packs were amazing. When these came out, I bought all of them right away. They were like $20 a piece or something crazy like that. We've got Valor versus Venom, Night Force, all O-ring figures. Anti-Venom Task Force. These have never been opened. We have Winter Operations. Every one of these figures pretty much is just a repaint of other figures. And I mean, they didn't change too many of the names. They pretty much are who they are, just with different paint jobs to match their sub team that they're in. So this is one of my favorites here. We have the Desert Patrol Squad. And then we have this one here. This is a Cobra. This is a Cobra Imperial Procession pack. Again, 6 figures, but you've got the Baroness in the crimson red with her chair, and Cobra Commander. That's probably his chair, actually. Some flags. You've got a cape of some sort. Really, really cool. All O-ring. Pretty amazing. And then underneath that, we have a Tiger Force 5-pack. This is a different, this isn't Valor versus Venom, I don't think. It's the 20th anniversary. G.I. Joe versus Cobra, Tiger Force. Now this guy here is cool because he was a Cobra figure back in the day, and now he is a G.I. Joe figure in this 5-pack. And then here's another one here. This is a Crimson Guard 5-pack. This was is it a 5-pack? I think 5 or 6-pack anyway. This was a Toys R Us exclusive. We still have Toys R Us here in Canada, but they don't really carry toys anymore, so it's kind of interesting. On this side, these are G.I. Joe versus Cobra. Now, these are not O-ring figures. Most of the modern ones were not. It's just once in a while they would bring some out that were O-ring to save on the tooling. This guy here you saw on my Toxic Lab. So he's here in the packaging. Remember when these came out? They were on sale from $14.99 for a 2-pack to $6.99 each. So I bought, I think I bought all of them that the store had. All right, let's keep going. So we're going to continue. Got some more G.I. Joe stuff here. This is the 1964 and 1994 commemorative collection. I don't have all of them, but I do have all of the figures, just not all of them in this form. There's some shout outs to the TMNT collector and Toy Polloi. And just under that, we have the Action Pilot, which is weird because he's not blue in this. But you'll also notice that this parachute is just white. They made a lot of different parachutes in that style of parachute pack. We saw one on one of the shelves I just showed you already. But the way to tell the difference is the mail-aways were green. This is white. It came from this pack. And then you've got the silver ones that, and I saw some that were clear, but those ones came with the Sky Patrol. Let's get some more modern stuff. I think most of this stuff came out during the movie. This guy is really cool. Now, I don't take mostly any of these guys out of the packaging just because I don't think that these style of figures, because they're 4-inch and they have a lot of articulation, really similar, to tell you the truth, to classified GI Joes, and I just don't feel like the size of them can handle their weight with these joints, and I don't really feel like they display very well. Got some more Valor versus Venom here. These are just the vehicles and the figures that I had. And then I have some stuff up here on this shelf. So we'll take a look at this. This is all early 2000s, mid 2000s, 2010, 2011. So we've got a Cobra Hiss. We've got the Mars device machine. I think there was 3 or 4 box sets you had to buy to get the whole mass device, but that's the only one I have. Got this one here. I think this is from the movie. I didn't have enough room to put it in there. These are 3-packs. These are really cool, like 25th anniversary style. They're really neat. I have another one, but it's down here on the bottom, so we'll take a look at that. Then we've got these packs here. These are really cool. Cobra Arctic, again with the 25th anniversary style articulation. Cobra Island, Vipers, Troopers. This one is really neat. This is a Cobra Desert pack. I really like how these displays look too. They look amazing with the window packaging. And here's another Cobra Island set. It's the G.I. Joe one. G.I. Joe figures. So that is that whole shelf there. I'm going to give you guys a tour of the whole room, like a quick tour when I'm done all of these videos, and then we'll look at that. We've got also these Hot Wheels, Scooby-Doo, Simpsons, Kill Bill, Christine, National Lampoon's Vacation, Italian Job, and TV series Batmobile. We've got 007, Starsky and Hutch, Ghostbusters, Ecto-1, Ecto-1A, and Back to the Future 3, the DeLorean. Okay, down from here, we're going to look at this shelf here. Got some Battlecore 2000. These are some custom figures that I made. Got the vehicle driver there. Another vehicle driver in the vehicle. Not much I could put on this shelf because it was so close to the ceiling, because this is like a closet. This is in between the two closets that I have, Indiana Jones and my GoBots closet. So this is all Battlecore 2000. You can see the figures in the background, carded. When I picked up these carded figures, they were super cheap, like 20 bucks a piece. And over time, they've gone up quite a bit in price. So there's a Star Brigade figure there in the back. So that's all my carded figures from that era. And then most of this stuff is Battle Force 2000. The vehicles in the background, that's a set. And a lot of astronaut vehicles like Star Brigade, Headhunters. Yeah, so a lot of that stuff. You can see there's several versions of some of these figures in here. And I've got the whole set of those vehicles in the back that makes a fortress. And this is a really cool figure here. That's version 2. And then I've got this guy here. I do have some figures that are missing some helmets, but they will come around eventually. I'll find them. So that's awesome. Going down to the next shelf. Let's take a look at what I have here. We've got the Command Center, the first one, 1983, I believe. We have a Dragonfly. We have some play sets in the back. We have a modern Vamp. And we have just a lot of these figures that had these talking backpacks. Press the button and the figures talk. Some green shirts in the back. Get a lot of Duke figures in here. This figure here is the driver to this. That's why it's there. We've got some Cobras in the jail because they've got those big backpacks and they need to be in jail for having them. They don't stand very well. There's another green shirt here. This green shirt came in a soldier pack. There's about 6 of them. I think I've got about 5 or 6 of them in here. Got a roadblock, another green shirt. There's another one down here. They are delicate. The plastic breaks really easily. And there's also a Duke here. He's got the mail away parachute pack with the helmet and the mask. Rampart. We got the Wombat. And then just a whole bunch of figures in here from this era. This is a Duke from McDonald's. Got another figure in the back there. And then we've got those packs that I was telling you about, those Cobra packs. This one here is Cobra Night Watch. I think I had 3 or 4 of those. I opened 2 of them. Actually, I think I had 4 of them. I opened 2 of them. Here's a 25th anniversary Flint. He was in disguise in the movie. Another one of those. Coming down here, we've got my G.I. Joe water shelf. Another one of those Cobra 6-packs in the back. Vehicles. Water vehicles. Frogmen. We've got a Cobra Eels here, a modern one, and a night landing that came with that vamp. It was like a 2-pack with Flint and Cobra Eel, so that's cool. Got some more water style figures here. Got a couple VHS back there. Some Super 7 figures. Keel Haul version 2. Got some more. This was like a 3-pack or something like that. These guys here. They're in the green and the black. And then we've got my 25th anniversary figures. These are all over the back of this closet, so I'll show you that and pretty much completely what I have. But let's keep going. I got one more shelf to show you. This has got some more modern loose Joes, but I've also got the reissue Moray for G.I. Joe. We've got a Cobra vehicle in the back, and of course we've got that helicopter, and then we've got a more modern Jeep in the back right here. And these are more modern figures that I like. And then before we show you the 25th anniversary collection, I've got these. This one here. Here's a Cobra one. I really like the artwork on the back. That's what it looks like on the back. I just display those in the front like that. And then from here we've got the 1964 to 1994 reissue in 3¾ instead of in the 12-inch. This is the action set. It's really cool. Never been opened. There's another one of those parachutes. Here's another one of those 3-packs. G.I. Joe exclusive. Of course, it's got some. We've got Deep Six, Torpedo, and Cutter, so it's perfect in this area of water vehicles. We've got this 2-pack here, Snow Job and Arctic Bat. I think this is the 50th anniversary. I think that's what that 50 means. 50th anniversary. And then we've got the 25th anniversary figures. Major Blood. Got Major Blood there. When these came out, I picked up as many as I could. I'm not sure if I picked them up in the stores. This is an actual version 1 O-ring frag viper. So that's really cool. I do have him loose, but I don't have him in my display. And then some other figures here. We've got 25th anniversary figure here. Anti-armor trooper. We've already seen this Flint and Cobra disguise. And then let's keep going here. Got some comic 3-pack. O-ring reissues. There's another one there. Those aren't O-ring though, but like I said, sometimes they were O-ring. Like this one is not O-ring, it's more modern. And then 25th anniversary. And then this one was, I guess, not a 25th anniversary. So it's just a reissue of the O-ring figures. Here's a 25th anniversary here. More modern. Another 25th anniversary here with Destro and Iron Grenadier. 25th anniversary here. These are all comic packs. Deep Six. Rock and Roll. Scrap Iron. I think that's Wild Bill down there. We got a Viper. Hiss Driver. One of my favorite figures, Cobra Saboteur, Firefly. I love this one. The Black Ninja, Ninja Coup Leader. Got a couple bats. Cobra Commander, Torpedo. I've got this one in I think this was a mail away figure that you had to get in a mail away. So that's Doc. I really like this one here. This is Counterintelligence Scarlet. It's cool. Ranger. Fairness. And then we have this one here. This is a 4-inch tracker from Mask. That's also in a card. That's also in like a protective package. I've got the original Mask figure there. First Sergeant Duke, Zartan, one of my favorite, Barbecue. This is a unique figure here that they made. Cobra Paraviper, Crimson Guard, and one more. We've got Snake Eyes version 2 and the 25th anniversary. So there we go. There is all of this section done, and along with all this stuff here. I've got one more G.I. Joe shelf to show you. This is another couple sub-teams that we haven't talked about yet. And we're going to turn around here, right in between the Ghostbusters shelf and the Childhood Collection shelf. We're going to look at Tiger Force. We've got a couple of the vehicles there. Again, Tiger Force is all repaints of already molded original vehicles and figures. I also have, I think this one is a Tiger Force from the UK, Tiger Force from India, Fun School. And then this is a convention exclusive Tiger Force. It's Zartan morphing into a G.I. Joe, which also came with Mutt, Junkyard, and then we've got some more original vehicles and figures there. So that is my Tiger Force display. Let's go down to Sky Patrol. And I've got some of these HasLab exclusive figures that I bought. I didn't buy the Sky Striker. I don't need the Sky Striker. Got it right there. But I loved the figures, the fact that they were O-ring style. So I pretty much bought them all, except for the ones I didn't really think I needed. But here is Sky Patrol. All the figures and their parachute packs. And we also have a Sky Patrol custom that I made. So I've got another custom I'm making right now, but we've got, so I have 3 of the original vehicles. The figures, here's one that's carded. So Sky Patrol, you can see that we've got a carded one. That's what the parachute should look like. And then this parachute here, you can see that it's white. So it came from those reissue anniversary packs, 64 to 94. So there's that. And we've got down here, we're going to go into some more convention exclusive figures. And we've got Night Force. This one here is from HasLab, from the Sky Striker, and the rest of these are the original Night Force figures. And 2 of the vehicles here. And if we go down here, we've got one of the vehicles here, along with some customs that I made. That's an original one. That's a custom snow job. And that's a custom one in the back there. And then this is a mail away APC, but it's custom. I actually made it. There's a video that I made showing how I made it. If you want to check that out, it's one of the really easiest customs to make. So there's my Night Force, Cobra exclusive, convention exclusives. Don't have a lot of exclusives, but I do have some. And that is my G.I. Joe collection. Like I said, I do have some vehicles that I am repairing to put into the collection. I have some vehicles that I want to rebuy after I sold them. And I have some figures also that I still want to buy. I don't have every figure that was ever made, especially the O-ring ones. But here is the tour of the room, just really quick, without showing the Star Wars collection. Star Wars is right here behind me. This is what the room looks like. There's some Star Wars stuff. We've seen these shelves here. There's the closets. So just to put everything in perspective, this is my toy room. I have 2 lanes. I've got an island here with a lot of stuff on display. And then we go around here and you can see that I have a second aisle down here. Transformers, Exo Squads, Ghostbusters, Eagle Force, Childhood Collection, TMNT, Childhood Collection, Childhood Collection Joes, some random figures here from the 90s, late 80s, early 90s, and we've got this right here. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to episode 5, my Star Wars collection. That'll be coming out probably in a week or 2. See you later.